Y'all came back. Thank you. Thank you for coming back to the channel, family. I'm so glad and grateful that you're here. I'm City. It's good to see you. And we're going to get right into it. This is the next video in our series about 6 holistic wellness tips for controlling your thoughts and taking your mind back. All right. Last time we linked up together. We had a conversation and talked about how I am learning how to realign my mind, my body, and soul so I can have a more fulfilled life, so I can feel more satisfied. And so I can really be the one who's in control of my thoughts here and not have a whole bunch of weird things coming in from other influences that really have nothing to do with me. So the last time we were together, we talked a little bit about the holistic wellness background. And today we're going to get deeper into what those 6 tips actually are, plus a little bonus. All right, let's get into it. Just a quick recap. We had a conversation last time where we talked about our holistic connection, our mental body being connected to our emotional body, and then our physical body being impacted by that. And if you have not checked out that video yet, please go back and check that out and then come back and see this one. In that same video, we discussed the strategy on what I do to know how my subconscious mind works. And so I can get more deeper into it and be able to remove things from my subconscious that really don't serve me at all. Today, we're going to talk about what those actual tips are, what the tactics are. The tactics are the 6 tips for deprogramming and reprogramming. Okay. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I know y'all came back for the tips. So here are the tips to tuning in to your frequency. Tip number 1, meditation. All right. Meditation is, y'all, it's just been the complete game changer for me. Okay. Think of your brain as a garden, and all the thoughts and ideas in it are the seeds. Your actions are the fruit or the results of those seeds that were planted, watered, and grown. So the real deal, though, is many of those seeds were not even planted by us. Remember the example I gave in the previous video about a seed that was planted inside of me, telling me that I'm too skinny? Like, really, I didn't look in the mirror when I was a child and say, "You're too skinny." Why would I say that to myself? Right? Someone said that to me, and then I internalized that. And that was a seed that unfortunately was allowed to get watered and grow in me for a long time. And it made me feel not confident in my body because I wasn't curvaceous and voluptuous. So the misalignment that we could be feeling inside of ourselves, could be that we're working with bad fruit or spoiled fruit, seeds that grew up in us, but really have nothing to do with who we really are. So when you meditate, it's not about a clear blank mind with nothing going on. It's not that. When we meditate, we are engaging in the process of observing the thoughts that come up. That's it. We are being a careful observer of our thoughts, non-judgmentally. That's so key, to not judge the thoughts that come up, because if we judge them, then we tend to not work with them in order to release them. Okay. We all have a shadow side. And sometimes things may come up from that shadow side that, are ugly to us and we don't want to face, but it's us. So face it, face your shit. All right. So when we meditate, we're observing those thoughts and we're asking, does this thought work for me? No. Okay. Let it go. Easy. Done. And I know you're probably like, no, no, City, not easy, not done. Right. It is way easier said than done. I will admit that the releasing, the surrender has been the one of the most challenging things for me in this process. So I get that. The more you practice that and the more you set an intention to really say, like, I am releasing this. The body is intelligent and knows exactly what to do when you assert that energy within yourself. Okay. Okay. Tip number 2, you gotta say your affirmations, family. Okay. Affirmations come into play when we replace negative or even neutral self talk with positive, uplifting, and high vibrational self talk. So, an example is like, before, in moments of overwhelm, I would say to myself, "Oh my goodness, how hard this is. Oh, this is so hard, right? This is so hard." And that would be an example of negative self-talk. It could be neutral too. But I think a more neutral way of saying that would be, "Whew, this is crazy. It is what it is, though. Just got to get it done." Right? That's just very neutral. Like, acknowledging that it's hard, but not really saying like, "Oh, this is hard. I don't want to do this," but just saying, "Yep, it's hard and it is what it is. Got to get it done." Neutral thinking. Now, when I began my process of affirmation, I slid an affirmation into my practice that goes like this: I accomplish tasks easily and effortlessly. And I would say that I accomplish tasks easily and effortlessly. And I would say it every rising before work. Affirmations before work are so powerful because work is a place that would be very stressful. So even if I didn't feel that way yet, I would say it. And over time, I realized that I didn't even think about things as being hard, even when they were hard, because I retrained my brain, my subconscious, my energy to be confident in my ability to accomplish tasks with effortless ease. Effortless. It don't matter how hard it is. It's going to be hard, but I can do it with effortless ease. Energetically, there's a shift there. And that's an important shift that I had to make. Uh, we all can make important shifts like that. Another quick note about the affirmations and the power of sound: you don't have to do a big production about this. You don't have to think about, oh, I got to set aside time to write all these affirmations out and then stand in the mirror and say them. That you don't have to do anything like that. You can go on YouTube and find affirmations tracks and play them in the background. Literally, the subconscious mind is so powerful, smart, and strong. It knows exactly what to do. And just listening to them and allowing your subconscious mind to absorb them will have lasting effects. Trust me. Try it yourself. You don't have to trust me. Just like, do it. Really do it. Okay. So let's keep going because we have a few more steps to go. Step number 3: watch what you watch. Okay. Remember, we're going through and plucking out a whole bunch of thought seeds that have nothing to do with us. And we had to admit then that they came from somewhere, some type of outside external source. It could be other people, but in a lot of situations, that's what we watch on TV, what we read, what we listen to. Music plays a big role in that because of the energy of the sound. So it's really important that we are watching what we watch, being very mindful. I just I just did it. I just cut toxic entertainment. I just stopped watching things that did not resonate with me. Loving hip hop and the different shows that come on those channels, the reality shows and stuff, they just didn't resonate. It wasn't about the drama. I wasn't about arguing for views. So that stuff plays a role in how we think, y'all. How we think, and how we think influences how we do. So that was a game changer for me. Try that out and see how you like it. Um, I in terms of watching things on TV, I just made a shift to like maximize growth opportunities. Sometimes I do want to be entertained. Sometimes I do just want to put on TV or whatever and just be entertained by it. But in other instances, when I'm being more mindful and intentional, I would find documentaries of the content that's relevant to my growth and my next levels. If I want to learn more about vegan eating or just cooking at home, because I realized that always ordering out and always eating out at restaurants is just too energetically loose for me. I would maybe start watching more videos where people are talking about being a home cook or learning how to be a chef, things that are going to grow me. You might be saying, okay, I could do that. I can watch things, but I see that other tip that you have. What's that, City? Tip number 4, read. I ain't doing that. That's okay. Audiobooks win, y'all. If you're the type of person that says I'm not a reader, then get an audiobook. All right. Listen to it. It still is going to absorb. That's another way to get information inside of you. But keep in mind that when you buy the audiobook version, usually that's going to be a larger investment than buying the actual paper copy, because that's a different way of consuming that content. If you're still like, no, no time, work, children, relationship, hobbies, side hustles, there's just no time to be reading, City. So no, that tip is not going to work for me. I'm going to challenge you to replace reading with one unfruitful habit that you have. And don't lie to yourself, don't lie to me and say that you don't have any unfruitful habits, okay? Like guilty, right? I will scroll all day on social media, engaging in all this content, and I might be getting entertained, but it's not fruitful. I'm not benefiting. It doesn't benefit me after that, you know? Um, that's what entertainment does sometimes, like keeping it a buck. That's what the point of entertainment might be sometimes. So pick and choose. All right, I'm being entertained right now, but then in this moment, I do need to grow a little bit. So, take 5 minutes from entertainment and then read something or watch something or listen to something. You can start small and develop your increase. Chunk it out, set a goal. I'm going to do 1 page a day, a paragraph a day, a chapter a week. I do these things. Like, I do this. I'll put on my list for the week. All right, I'm going to read chapter 7 this week. That's it. No pressure. I'm not saying I've got to read 10 pages a day. For the whole week, I'm going to read chapter 7. I might read half the chapter on one day, and then over the course of the rest of the week, I might read a page a little bit. I might get done the whole chapter in one day. It might be that good to me. But sometimes you got to do those things for yourself. All right. Before we move on, though, to tip number 5, I want to say and remind us here that we are not consuming information just to be consuming. We're not saying, oh, remember, the stuff that we may have consumed before may not be relevant, may not serve us. Some of it may have even been false information. Raise your hand if you went to a school where they told you that Christopher Columbus discovered a land. So we're not going in to just consume more information to say, oh, well, if that was a lie, then that must be the truth. No, don't get caught up in just finding new dogma to believe in. Always, always, always reference yourself when receiving any new information. You don't have to accept anything as fact, especially if it does not resonate with you deep inside or ring true in your lived experience. Not anymore. We are not doing that. Okay. All right. Let's move on. We have 2 more tips to go and a bonus. All right. Tip number 5 is about expression. Okay. Express yourself. As we are getting more information put in, releasing information, more stuff is coming in that does resonate with us. We also want to be able to express ourselves and alchemize that. So how do you do that? What's your self-expression? Do you write? Do you journal? You could create videos like I'm doing right now to share this energy. Dance, art. Do you write songs or poetry? Send me something. Paintings, all of that. Artistic expression, we all have it in some way, shape, or form. You might not realize it, but it is there. So find a way to express yourself in a healthy way as you are trying these new energetic frequencies out. And tip number 6. This is a very important tip. I kind of feel like I saved a big one for last. Um, Information is all around us. They always tell us now we're in the age of information, and it's there, but it's not all beneficial information. 2 years ago, I stopped watching the mainstream news as like my main source of information and media, and it changed my life. I no longer feel that overwhelming sense of fear that they try to throw down your throat. My sister growing up used to always say that she did not like to watch the news because the news is depressing. Shout out to Sister. And I used to just listen to my mom, who used to always say, we have to watch the news to know what's going on in the world. But then when Sister would be like, the news is depressing, I, you know, I would hear both messages, at home. So I didn't really know. But now I totally understand what she was saying. It is a depressant on your energy, and it will keep you down. It will keep you in fear, thinking about, oh, what if this happens and this happens over here? And oh, did you hear about that? And then people are in conversations about things that have nothing to do with them, just mixing the energy all up, all crazy. All right. So there are alternative news sources, y'all, to get real information about real things that are happening in the world. So I would encourage you to tap into that and get away from that controlled propaganda media machine that is run and planned and programmed by certain people in certain places right now. Here is the bonus that I promised. It's not so much a tip, but it's really kind of what happens as a result of implementing these tips. All right. I noticed that I was thinking about things and getting involved in conversations in certain circles, and it really wasn't the stuff that was resonating with everyone that I grew up with or everyone in my family. You know what I'm saying? Some of these things are completely opposite than what I had been taught to believe in from a child growing up. And that can be very challenging because I've known certain people, right? Our family and friends, we've known them all of our lives. Certain people have just been with us for a long time. The realization I've had to make is that everyone's journey is different, and we're all here to walk our own path. And as I walk my path and I become more authentically me, I notice that the right people who are supposed to be in my life are authentically showing up. And if you're not meant to be in my life anymore, that's okay. Love and light and peace to you always, but that's the bonus right there. Don't worry about if you're getting into some type of content and you feel like, oh snap, my mom ain't going like this, my best friend not going like this, my boyfriend not going like this. That's okay. That's okay. If you like it and you want to keep engaging with it, engage with it. Share with them. See what happens. And if things are shifting, flow with the shifts, okay? Because you are being taken to places that you may not have been able to imagine that you could go to. I love you. We're going to pause here and we're going to resume next time with case studies of how this worked in real time. I'll talk about me. I'll talk to y'all a little bit more about my past so you can get to know me a little bit better. And I'll show you how this has been working for me and others that I've been working with. Okay. I'm so glad that you came by. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and vibe out with me. Peace, love, and prosperity to you as we journey on. Peace.